Hey guys, welcome to this video. So just to be clear, this isn't a tutorial or something. This is just gonna be me unfiltered, unedited, trying to build a to-do list in React. Yeah, that simple application. Because I've never built anything with React and it's my first time trying to build something with React. So I just wanted to record how I struggle through my first React application, no matter how simple it is. So I haven't completed any proper tutorial, just the tutorial that they have over here on the official React docs where they build this tic-tac-toe thing. And after that, I just watched a couple YouTube videos of people building stuff and live streaming that. Yeah, so I haven't had any practical experience with it, but I recognize some patterns and how to use hooks and stuff because I have some experience with Vue.js, so I'm sure that experience is gonna come in handy. So we're just gonna straight away start off with creating a React app, which I've never done. Create React app. Yeah, I've heard this takes long. That's what each YouTuber says, at least. It's fine. We can talk through it. Basically, I just want to build out something really simple, a to-do list, as I said, and see how React is different from Vue.js, and see how much I struggle with it. Because from what little I've seen of React till now, it's really extremely more, you know, unnecessarily complicated than Vue. Vue handles stuff pretty well. Okay, shit. I forgot to mention a app directory to do React. Yeah, and I ain't even that good in JavaScript. My main focus is on backend development with Python. Front end is sort of secondary, so I'm okayish with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, not a pro, but still, let's see what I can do with React. Again, this isn't a tutorial if that wasn't clear till now. I'm not even gonna edit this unless somebody interrupts, then I'll have to, cut those parts and stuff. Or if this goes until tomorrow morning, like if I continue this tomorrow morning, so yeah. Under only those reasons I'm gonna edit this and cut those parts out, but other than that it's gonna be pretty much unfiltered, even these time consuming parts. Yeah, because I would want to live stream, but I'm not sure if I can do that long right now. So think of this of a live stream style video but recorded. Yeah, I know that sounds dumb, but it is what it is. Damn, this takes long. I discovered this YouTube channel today, Florent Pop, and I basically watched his whole video where he takes up a front end mentor challenge and builds a filterable job listing in React. So that's pretty much it for my practical application and practical experience in React, because the other ones that I watched was like a toy to-do list or something. So let's see how this goes. I'm pretty anxious for it. One thing I'm sure of, I'm going to use Tailwind CSS for this one. So let's just keep the CDN link ready. It's been some day. This is really interesting for me, so I have this extension installed, Vopalizer. Uh, it's available for Chrome, Firefox, both. I just like checking out every page, every website, and see what's it built in. So this one seems to be Tailwind CSS seems to be built in Vue.js and Alpine. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Alpine recently. So I'm just gonna grab the CDN link from here, which I need to find. Yeah, here it is. Okay, our app is created and we're gonna open it with Visual Studio Code. And what I usually like to do is just open up a browser window with it. Yeah, like that. Again, what was the command to start? I got to check that in package.json. Yeah, so yarn start. This should ideally start running a application. At least that's what WebDev Simplified did. Yay! So it's opening up now. Okay, so from watching those couple of videos, something I know that I need to do is, just clear up app dot no app.css because I ain't gonna need it. I'm using Tailwind, so remove indexed, remove app.css, and I want to remove tests also. So I'll just remove app.css, then I'll remove index.css. Next step, service workers go. So I'm just getting rid of this extra stuff that I don't need for this application because it's neither a proper web app or something. It's just I don't need tests for it or service worker. It's just a way for me to learn React. To be honest, I was really apprehensive about getting into React, but recently I've seen so many opportunities that I've had to let go because I don't know React. But that's not even the point, to be honest. It seems like what's the harm in learning a new thing? It's just gonna be fun. So yeah, let's just do it. My laptop slows down so much while I'm recording also. So that's an issue. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of all this stuff. We're gonna get rid of this. We're just gonna try and return to do. And let's see how that goes. Why isn't it reloading? Okay, I gotta refresh this, I guess. With Nuxt, I've got in a habit of not refreshing it because it automatically updates the browser window too. Yeah. So there we have a to do. Now, I think, see, we'll need two things. One would be your header component, second would be your to-do list, and third would be your to-do component. So, so yeah, sorry, not two, we need three things. So, first we're gonna look into making a, what do I call it? Input component .js, and then I think I downloaded that extension. It's supposed to work with RFC. I have no idea why that doesn't work. Anyway, I'll just copy the template from here. And call this input component. Cool. Cool. So we have got to wrap this around within empty tags, I guess these are called fragments. Yeah, and after that, because what I've seen is you can't return more than one element from this return method, return function. So you just wrap all your stuff around with a what are these called? Fragments. Yeah, and then we need an what the hell? No, Emmet Emmet screws up in React. Taxi. What is that even? I know I'm not recording a like professional video or something, or not a tutorial or something, but still I am somehow making more typos than I usually do. I guess that's just something to do with my mentality of recording. I got to get better at this. Dot slash input component, then we just do this over here. Yeah, so wrap this around. I don't know if we need this closing tag or not. I'm not really sure. Never mind, let's see if this works out or not. Failed to compile. App is not defined. No undef. Search for the keywords to learn more. Okay, yeah, sorry. Dumb mistake. You gotta export this for it to be available in the other file. And when I copied it over from the previous file, I forgot to change it. So this is pretty small, so I guess you might not be able to see it properly, but here we have an input component, and now I just gotta include tailwind css. This is the index.html file, so I'm sure this is where I need to put it inside the head section. Okay, wait. I had copied it from before that app code, so let's just get tailwind css now. Yeah, we just gotta copy that. Here's the head. Yeah, now I think we should have access to tailwind css2. What the hell is happening? Where is that input component? Damn, how zoomed in am I? Why can't I see the input component? I'm pretty sure I'll make a lot of dumb mistakes along this in this video, but that's life. Border for border color. I don't actually remember if it was border color black or border black. Okay, I don't need to add color, it's just border. Oh yeah, here is the input now. So I think when I added Tailwind CSS, what it did was it reset all the styles, and that's why you see zero padding and margin like there was before. Now there isn't to the whole body thing. So I'm just gonna give some padding to the whole thing. Okay, fragment, fragment, close, indent this. Yeah, indent this more, and then wrap everything inside container. Oh shit, I forget every time that emit doesn't work properly. Yeah. Rather than container, I can just do padding 12 all around. Yeah, that's too much padding, but it's okay. We're anyway gonna, you know, set this in the center later. This works for now. Border 4 is too much. 2. I think I focus too much on the cosmetic stuff when getting up with these apps. I think I should first focus on getting it functional and then on this. So button add. This is basically to add or to do. Use placeholder. Yeah, add to do. And now let me see, how do we bind the value of an input? I'm not sure. py2 px4. Again, this is just padding for it. py1 px. So what px4 does is it adds padding to the left and right, and py adds padding to the top and bottom. These are just Tailwind CSS classes. And I'll just add some border to the button too. Border to border black money. This looks so weird, but it's okay, I don't care. Now I somehow gotta, how did you import this? Use state and use effect if I'm not wrong. And now let's look up on the React documentation how to bind form inputs. I'm sure it was there on the getting started thing because I haven't gone through it, but I did skim through this index, main concepts. Yeah, form should be where we need. So let's just zoom in for all of us. HTML form elements work a little bit differently from the other DOM elements in React because naturally keep some internal state. For example, this form in plain HTML accepts a single name. Cool. This form has the default HTML form behavior of browsing a new page when the user submits the form. If you want this behavior in React, it just works. But in most cases, it's convenient to have a JavaScript function that handles the submission of the form and has access to the data user entered into the form. The standard way to achieve this is with a technique called control components. Alright, I got a pause. I've got to take a call. Okay guys, I'm back and now we just gotta figure out how do we handle forms in React. From what I've been reading, I guess we have to use something called set state. Maybe that makes sense. Yeah, that's a hook, right? Typically, in React, mutable state is typically kept in the state property of components and only updated with set state. So yeah, I know that's a hook. I saw that. We can combine the two by making React state be the single source of truth. Then the React component renders a form. Uh, that renders a form also controls what happens in that form on subsequent user input. An input form element whose value is controlled by React this way is called a controlled component. Okay, so that's what controlled components are. They're basically just input forms whose value is controlled by React state. and not by themselves. Okay, that makes a bit of sense. So here they're using class-based components for the example, but I started out with functional components. I have no idea how these one work, but still, let's try. Let's give it a try. Handle change, bind this, handle submit, dot bind this. Here they're using okay. That's where I went wrong. This set state, they don't mean the hook right now. They mean the set state method, which can be used to update the state which is defined under the constructor in class-based components. But I'm sure we can do something similar uh, with function-based components. Let's just keep on reading. Since the value attribute is set on a form element, the displayed value will always be this dot state dot value, making the React the source of truth. Okay, so I think I've got it now, and I'm gonna try to explain it to you guys so that I explain it to myself. What basically is gonna happen is we can give a value property or attribute to an input, right? So learn React. React. That's better. So here's this property. So what we're gonna do is, okay, I really gotta think about this. Yeah. So const in value and set in value is equal to set state. I have to be honest, no idea how this if this will work or not, and we'll give the int value to the value, if that makes sense. So we'll just set this int value as the value of this form element. Okay, shit, I just used it as I'm confused between functional components and class-based components. There I was thinking set state is a hook. Here I thought that is the hook, but uh, in reality it was use state. These dumb mistakes, man. Okay, so right now it's just taking in the int value like this. I'm not sure how to bind the value of the variable over here. So let's just see if we can find something on this and bring this one tab closer here. Text area. Okay, I don't think there's anything about how to handle this in function based components. So how to handle forms in function based components. Right. I'm not sure why this value doesn't get binded to this int value and why does it take in the string literal. I think it can be something to do with quotes maybe. Nah, it's still okay. Wait, I think I got it. Yeah, guys, I had to pause the video again because my mom came in to say goodnight. So, yeah, let's now see why this isn't working. We can't even use this, right? Because this is a thing available in functions. Okay, so I just gotta look up form input with use state. Maybe that will be the thing we need. Till then, what's this weird layout? This area is empty. Controlling inputs the old way. This is basically what we saw in the React documentation, class based, and now they call it getting functional. Yeah. Okay. All right. I got it. We don't need to use these what are these called? How do I forget? Yeah, quotes. We don't need to use quotes over here, I guess. And now it should work properly. Yeah, so right now we have the value set to empty. Now let's set it to learn React. Yeah, so now that is handled. Now, so there's this concept of computed properties in Vue.js, which is basically similar to use effect, I think. Computed properties are just functions that get rerun and computed when a value related to them changes, when a value being used in them changes. So I think use effect is similar to that. So I'm just gonna try out this because honestly I don't know how use effect works. So let's Google that once. Okay, wait. Rather than use effect, we can just handle it with a function, right? So on change, we call this function handle change, right? And okay, it's a arrow function. Handle submit. Here they use the arrow function. So I guess this exact thing will get run. So handle change, you gotta define a function const handle change, and we basically assign it to an arrow function, and this e stands here for the event. So on change is basically an event, and what we're saying over here is when the value inside the form input changes, run on change, handle change, sorry. So for now, let's just return this to see what happens if we don't handle change ourselves. So I'm trying to type in here or backspace and nothing happens because this form input value is bound with the int value over here. So on every change, we got to use this set input set int value is basically a function that we can use to set value of int value, and we e dot target dot value. I hope that works. Yeah, that does work. Learn React. Yeah, now we can update. What did I click? Never mind. Now we can update the value. So now what we're basically doing over here, it's pretty simple. I'm sure it's pretty simple. um, so we just define a bit of a state, and we have given that a default value of learn react right now. And I should probably change this to int value to input value for better readability, right? And this to set input value, input value. And if any of you who take out the time to watch this stupid video, if you have any issues with arrow functions or destructuring, because that is what we are doing over here. This is called array destructuring. So you should definitely check out the videos by web dev simplified. So just search web dev simplified arrow functions, or search web dev simplified destructuring. He has amazing videos on both the topics. So now let's just fix this and set it to an empty string, because by default the value is going to be 0, and in the placeholder we can just say example learn react. That is a placeholder right now. Yep. Now one thing I'm not sure of, how do we communicate state to the parent component in React? One way they handle state I know is by Redux, which is similar to Vuex in Vue. But Vue also has this concept of emitting events. Okay, let's think. Yeah, so one pattern that I saw in Florent Pop's video was what no, not Florent Pop's video. Yeah, on the official React tutorial, the one where they make a tic-tac-toe, they talked about lifting state up. So if one state needs to be used in multiple children components, that should reside in a parent component. So right now we only have input component, but soon we're also going to have a to-do list component and to-do component. Each of them are going to be separate things. So for that, I think a state should reside in app, but don't take me on my word because I'm a React noob. So let's just try doing that, because it's all about trying it out, right? So here we're gonna import use state const input value set input value use state, and it's going to be empty for now. So now what we can do is this function that we have, we can, rather than having it over here, and we're not going to need these also anymore, so let's just take them out to avoid clutter. Let's remove this because we're lifting a state back up to the app component, and this function we'll have in the app component, and we'll pass it down to the input component as a prop. Now what are props? Props are basically custom attributes, custom data attributes that you can pass down to a component. So that would be accessed like this over here, pops not props. And I feel I should zoom in a bit for readability for you guys, if anybody ends up watching this video. Okay, wait, that's way too much. I can't deal with that. You gotta do with this. Let's just format this a bit to make it more readable. Yeah, so now that we have separate properties on separate attributes and separate lines, it's much more readable. Now rather than using input value, we're going to be using props dot input value, and rather than using handle change, we're using props dot handle change. So as you can see, we have neither input value nor handle change in this component, but we're going to pass it down through the app as a prop. So let's see how that's going to work. Input value, set input value. I think we should be fine with these. Now we just gotta pass them down. What was it? Value is equal to, no, we got to specify input value, because that's what it's being referred by, is called input value. And rather than, and we got to pass down handle change as handle change. So now I think this should be fine. These we are passing down as props, and those props are being used in the input component to one bind the value and to second bind the onChange function. Let's see if that works. Yes, it does work. So that's fine. Just a little refactoring that I want to do over here. Rather than input value, I'm just going to call it value, and as value I'm going to pass down input value, just to maintain more clarity, It wasn't that important. It was just my OCD with naming. Yeah, so this works. I'm really happy that it does. Now let's just now what we got to do. Okay, so what we can do is we could just have had a to-do component over here, but rather I want to wrap those around in a to-do component, to-do list component. I don't know if that makes sense or is of any use, but let's just try it out that way. To-do list component.js, and we're gonna copy over this and get to there, and we should just create a file for to-do component too, because we're going to use it soon, hopefully. If we don't get stuck anywhere. Yeah, so let's just call this to-do list component, and that's we gotta export. And then we gotta I'll just get rid of this stuff and say h1 to-do list component. Where's my app.js? Okay, here we import to-do list component from / to-do list component. And we're just gonna render that over here. To-do list component. Yep, that should work. There's no reason it won't, and it doesn't. Okay, it does. So here we have our to-do list component being rendered. Now what do we want to do over here? Let's see. Yeah, so we'll use useState again and have a list of to-dos. Set to-dos useState. So in case you don't know what these empty string or this empty list here stand for, is the default value that input value or to-dos is going to be initialized with. Yeah, that sounds about right. Now we got to add another handler, const handle submit, right? E, that's just the event. To do's dot push e dot target dot value. I'm just going to explain in a minute what I'm trying to do, but let me just make sure that this works. So now I'm gonna pass this handle submit function, not submit, that I wrote in the app component down to input component as a prop, and on click for this button, on click we're going to use props dot handle submit. Whoa, let's try now. We'll console log. Where does my app vanish? It's right here. So what I want to do is just console log to do's to check that it's working or not. Okay, so let's just hit F12 to open up the console. Yep, so let's try. Blah. Hit enter. I did hit enter, and it's just adding an empty string right there, and I'm not sure why. E dot oh shit. Yeah, so it's not e dot target dot value, it's input value, because button has no value, and button is the target of the click event, right? So we got to push input values to it. Blah. Okay, I can't even type that right. Basically my keyboard is hidden under my laptop stand, so I type mostly without seeing, so I sometimes make these dumb errors like that what you just saw. So this works. Now we got to see how do we render those to-do list components, right? Right, so I'm sure we are going to pass this down as a prop. To-dos is equal to to-dos. So what we're doing right here is what we're doing, we are passing in all the to-dos to the to-do list component. I'm not sure why I created a separate component for to-dos. I think I'm just going to do all that inside this component rather than that. So from what I've seen, people use .map to loop over a set of elements in React. Whereas in Vue, what you would do is you'll write the like HTML for that part, and then you'll just add v hyphen for is equal to this in this, and it will automatically replicate that HTML for you. So I'm not sure how this works, but props dot todos dot map, and map takes in a function, we're gonna pass it an arrow function, and let's just try returning to do, to do, to do. Let's see if this works out. Expected an assignment or function call and instead saw an expression. Okay, so what's this about? No unused expressions. Search for the keywords to learn more about each error. So let's see. Rather than this, let's try just div I'm a to do. Huh? What the hell? Okay. Okay, let's just Google this for now. How to loop over elements in React. Okay, so here it is. Iterating and rendering with loops in React components. No man, this solution seems down. Okay, no. React.create element. Alright, I see. Put that all together and you get name index. Oh, alright, I think I needed to return that. It was just missing that keyword, I guess. Return. Wrap this around. Let's try. I'm clicking. Okay. It was taking its time. I see. Yeah, so I am familiar with this error because of Vue. Each child in a list should have a unique key prop, and that's for it to, identify and uh, efficiently render and re-render your content on changes. So now that we know that works, just gotta add only to do over here. Honestly, I don't know. I guess another syntax. Yeah. Yo, add that. Why is it so slow? Set to do's is assigned a value. Oh shit. Now I think I know why. By the way, this is working now. As you see, I added YP. I meant to add yo. It got added. But this stuff is happening slow. So I think I know what this is. I did such a dumb thing over here, but it's okay. I'm not really familiar with React, right? So I guess I get a pass. But I should have never mutated the state of to-dos directly. Dot push directly mutates the state of to-dos, but rather I had to use set to-dos over here. It was that simple, and I still and I still managed to mess it up. Anyway, it's never too late. Set to dos, and we're gonna use the spread operator. That's also ES6 function, I think. And then we're gonna add input. Yeah, so I remember I read this, but I forgot about it. Immutability is really important. You just don't, mutate the original state. You assign it a new state using these set functions. And what this is over here is doing, it's creating a new array and it's pre-populating it with the already existing to-dos, and then adding a new to-do input value to it. And another thing that I should have done, uh, when we handle submit, we gotta change set input value to empty quotes, because we want to input to get cleared after we submit, right? So now this should work smoothly, I guess. Yo, add. Yeah, so you saw the last time we did this, it was taking a hell lot of time, but now it's so quick. Yeah, that's because we were just directly mutating the state, and that just messes up React, I think so. Not sure. And let me just show you what happens if I omit this one, set input value, and this gets reloaded. Okay, yo, ye, whatever. This value stays here, but you want the input to get cleared after that. So we're just gonna add set input value. I meant to type yo, I can't even type right. Yeah, and now we gotta fix this function that each child in the list should have a unique key prop. So now for this part, it's just a quick fix, because if we have two to-dos that have the same content, it's again gonna give us an error. But for now, we're just gonna set this equal to the to-do value and hope that we don't add same to-dos. It shouldn't be used in real apps. In real apps, you'll ideally have an ID or something that you'll use to assign a unique value to the key. So yo mo I don't even know. Yeah, so this seems to work now, and now all we got to do is add some functionality to these, because this isn't it. We gotta add a way to delete to-dos, and I'm not sure how. Okay, we'll just add a button over here. Okay, now I know how. Okay, yeah, I got it. On click is gonna be delete, no, again, not the single quotes, props dot delete to do, and we're gonna pass it the to do text, that is the to do text. No ID, we don't have an ID, so button says delete. Would that work? Let's see. Yo. Okay, yeah, of course that won't work. I haven't passed delete to do yet. I'm just so in a hurry to I'm just excited for this to work, so not an excuse, but yeah. So we gotta write a function const delete to do is equal to index is okay. I have thought of another way that we can do this too, but let's just try console.logging it once if we get the index or not. No, not the index. Uh, yeah, it's the to do text. To do text. I'm gonna take a short 5-minute break after I can get the to do text back over here. So there we said delete to do is equal to delete to do. Now let's see how successfully this works. I'm not really optimistic about this, but let's see. Console. Of course, I missed an E over there. Let's see. Test. Test. Delete. Delete. Undefined. Delete. Console.log, bro. Console.log. Okay, we're just gonna try console.log. The event.target too. So that we know if this is working or not. Test at undefined. Alright, I'm just taking a short break. I'll be back soon. Alright guys, I'm back and this is where we left off. We're just trying to get this delete button to work. I'm not even sure if it's doing something or not. Let's just, console.log. Button got click. Yeah. And now let's see if the button got click. Button. I just got to mention it's 12:20 in the night. That's why. Oh, that's when my crazy accents and my that stuff is busting out now. Oh, this thing really slows up while recording. Hook. Damn, this is glitchy. Please, Mozilla, work. Layout was forced before the page was fully loaded. If localhost, I'm not sure what this error is being caused by. I'll keep this for research later on. And you notice there's this instead of React symbol over there in the tab, it shows a Nuxt.js symbol. I guess that's because Nuxt uses the same port, that is 3000, and that's why it's being cached from before. Now let's get back to this. Delete. The button got click. Delete. No. So when the add button is getting clicked, Then this function is running and I have no idea why. Here's my to-do list component, right? And here I have on click props dot delete to do. Fook. And this button is getting clicked. Okay, now let's see. Why are both these functions getting run on the click of the add button? This is crazy. Yo. Yeah. So you see right over here, submit button clicky, button got click. So when I'm clicking this button, uh, both of these are getting clicked. I have no idea why. Both these functions are getting run over there. Whew. And I've assigned this function, I sent this down as a prop. Then why the hell is this happening? Okay, let me try putting this function above this one. And this one below. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. What the hell, man? This is damn confusing. So notice, I'll just clear out the console so that you guys can see more clearly. When change, so ideally only the change should have got run, right? But over here, along with change, button got click is also getting run. What is this behavior? Let's just try outputting the event. If the event is undefined, then it's fine. Okay, now why? So here we see negative event input. So right now only the change event got run. Yo, again, only the change event got run. Now we add this submit button clicky. Hmm. Hmm. And yo got console.log. Where are we outputting that? I guess in the input element. No. Why did yo got printed? Damn, this is weird. Let's just look into input component once. So yo is the set is the input value, right? So why is this getting console.logged? we haven't had any console.log over here. That should do that. Now this delete. Clicking on this delete button does nothing. That's weird. First, let's just add a class to it. I don't know if you're gonna get through this tonight. Element type is invalid. Okay, yo add yo delete. I'm not sure what the hell is happening over here. The development server has disconnected. Okay, so now it says delete, but nothing runs on delete. When we have this props.delete to do, it must be a dumb mistake, man. I'm sure. Okay, okay. We were running that function over there, which we don't need to. We just gotta pass it a function. Right. Yes, now it works. I made this silly mistake of adding parentheses over here, which meant that this function will run over here, which we don't need to do. We just gotta pass it a function. Oh shit, man. This took long. Yeah. So now there's an easy way I can do this. I can just set a data property on this button to be equal to the to do. This I can do to access this to do property inside the delete function inside app.js, but I don't want to do it this way because I want to see how to pass values to the functions that are being passed down as props. So let's see, what if we do an arrow function over here, e props.delete to do, and now we pass in to do. Let's see if this still works, because I'm not sure it will. Add submit button clicky. Now delete. Yes, it does work. So let's just bring the function down here. So now we're not taking in the event. Event isn't being passed to it. So we're just gonna pass it to do text. Yes, we got this. Now we're gonna use set to do's, and we're gonna take the to do's and filter it. What we got to do? don't like this giant dialog box over there. And we gotta check, we gotta pass in a single to do to it, and to do is not equal to do text. Now let's see if this works, because I'm not sure if it will. Well, that's just it. Everything in life. Set to do's. Yo, add. Now this should delete it. Yes. So okay, got it. Get back to this. Okay, so now if I click delete, it's gonna go away. So okay, I'm gonna explain what's happening over here. So just I reinforce it better in my head. Yeah. So here's a to-do list component, and we are passing in a function from the to-do list component known as delete to do. All right. And in to do component, we are assigning. So earlier on, we were trying to, just invoke this function right over here, which wasn't working, and then we tried, just passing in the function and not invoking it. That gave it access to event, but I was not sure how to pass in the to do value to it. So what I did was, rather than doing any of that shit, I set the onClick listener to an arrow function, and inside that arrow function I called the delete to do function that we were given from the app component, and I invoked that function right in here. And what it does is it gives it the to do text. It takes in to do text, and it filters that to do out from the to dos and sets the to dos to the new array. So again, thank God I didn't directly mutate the state of to dos and delete directly from it. We can't mutate state of we can't mutate the state. We got to just set it again with the set functions. I've got to remember that. Well, this works nice. Yoi, delete. Okay. Now what do we got to add to it? Now let me think. We added to dos, we deleted to dos. Now what I want to do is, on click on to dos, we'll mark them as done. Right. Okay. This was fun. Now let's think. We just wrap this in a span. The to do text, not spam, spam. And we're gonna copy this over there. I know this looks pretty bad right now, like really bad, but that's okay for now. I want to get all the functionality done and then make it look nice. Okay, so on click props, no, so we got to do the same. On click, we're gonna run an arrow function, that's gonna function mark done, and again we're gonna pass in the to do text over here. So right now we don't have any property known as done or whatever. So yeah, when we're adding to dos, we're not just gonna add a single text item. It's going to be this. It's an array of objects. Yep. I don't know if this makes a lot of sense. To me it does. So this should be fine. Now when we are being passed this, we can't just do to do. So to do dot val, because now the text isn't, but now it isn't just text. The actual content of the to do is inside the val property, which just stands for value, of course. Yo, no, doesn't get deleted because todos.filter to do dot val. Now we gotta remember it's not just text, it's an object. Yeah, now it works like it's supposed to. Let's just get rid of these console logs. They don't serve any purpose now. Okay, so const mark done is equal to do okay. I'm not sure how to just uh, update one element out of the whole array. I think I'm gonna do something dumb over here, but let's see. Whew. Let's just console.log for now to let's just make sure her whole system works properly. Console.log to do, and then we'll see how to do this one. I'm sure it's something simple, and I think better in Python, to be honest. Yeah. Now on click, it should output out the to do. Yo, add. Yep. So right here, when we click it, it output yo. But we don't want it to just give it the to do dot val. We just want to give it the whole thing. Yo, add. Now click it. Now we get an object value done false. I think we should just add a little thing over here to make it look better, which is important. Cursor. Again, I'm just using Tailwind CSS, and it has utility classes that you can apply. Oh shit, no. I just did the class name inside the on click thing. Yeah. Why is there a blank screen? I hate blank screens. Okay, now you see, you hover over it, you see a pointer, then false. Now, I've got an idea. So we're gonna use we're gonna set to dos. And it's going to be new array. So first we'll take out the to do that we clicked on out of our to do list. So for that we got to do to dos dot filter. We give it to do. You get T, otherwise the name will clash. I think T. T dot val is not equal to do dot val. So what we are doing in this filter is, this get length thing is irritating. We're just filtering. We're just removing the to do that we clicked on from our to do list, and we're spreading that over. And we're gonna add another object to this. Val is gonna be to do dot val. And I'm sure there are 100 better ways to do this, but I'm just not sure right now how to do it. This would have been so much. I could have done this in 20 minutes in Vue.js. 20 minutes, not even exaggerating. What's the error? Yep. Salt. That should be good to go. Let's just take it on the next line to make it more readable. Yep. That's nice. And now we'll console.log to dos to see whether it got shifted or not. Rather, let's try a neat trick called .table. Okay, so we're gonna add a couple to dos. Okay, so now as soon as I click on one of them, we should see a whole thing on the console. So console.table got called, and these are our three things. Yep. True. Okay, so nice. First it was false. And then we clicked on it, it became true. Then we click on third, it also became true. When you click on strike, it's still false. Nice. Something's fishy. That's cool. Now this thing is irritating. Whichever one you click on, it shifts position. So I don't know what to do about that right now, but let's see. Because right here we are creating a new to-do list, right? And then we are putting whatever element we clicked on as the last element. I'll have to look up some tutorial to see how to fix this one. Basically how to update a list, elements of list. Oof. I feel so dumb right now doing React and being confused with this stuff. So you see, first time I'm clicking it, it's getting set to false, right? Oh, oh, okay. It's already false, and when I click on it, it should become true. So you see, handle submit, where we are adding to dos, we're keeping this as false. We've kept this by default as false, right? But then where's the issue? Let's try console.table to dos when we basically add a new to do. To do. Right now there's nothing. To do. Okay, this is set to false. Now I click it. It's still set to false. What is this? Oh god. Seems to require 2 clicks to set it to, no, actually set it to true. And I'm not really sure why that is. Again, man, I feel so dumb making these mistakes and being confused over this stuff. Now let's see if Tailwind has a class for line through. Because ideally I don't want to touch CSS. Touch CSS for this to-do list. Oh god. Okay, yeah, we can just add a line through class. Now we got to see how to add class to React based on condition. Because when it's true, then we want to set a line through it. Yeah, conditionally applying class attributes. This is gonna be such a long video. Okay, cool, got it. You've got to basically wrap it whole around this and then plus to do dot done. If it's true, we gotta add a dot line through class. otherwise nothing. Now let's see if this works. Yo, it already has a line through, whether it's true or false. What the hell? Why does it already have a line through? And when it's set to false, why the hell? Let's delete it and figure out. First I'm going to add a little margin right 3. Oh god. It only has a line through. It isn't even including these classes. And why does it only have line through? Class name, button, group, pull right. Okay, let's try putting that in, you know, a parenthesis. Nah man, it's gonna work. Yep. And now when you click it, line through, nap, 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 nap. Yeah. So you see, when you click it, it gets turned to done, and it gets line through. So now I understand why neither these are showing false and true at the first time, because I think set to dos might be an async method. I am not sure. Okay, sorry, I'm not sure. Oof. Yep. Is set to dos are set functions in use state hook async. Load up. Okay, I mean, okay, that might have something to do with how React uses it internally. If the state changes are triggered asynchronously, they will not be batched. If they are triggered directly, they will be batched. I have no idea what that means. Okay, never mind. It's just something that React, because of how React is handling it. Because obviously, even when you're clicking it the first time, uh, its state is changing, but it isn't being reflected in the very next console.log. So that's okay. We'll get into that later. This is our first React project. Yo. Yo. Okay, what? Yo. Yo. So, yeah. Encountered two children with the same key, yo. So with our current setup, the issue is we're just using this to do text as a unique identifier, which is just really bad stuff because as you saw, when I'll delete one to do, it will delete both with the same name because it's just using that as a unique identifier. Ideally, we would want to download, add the UUID library to this project and use that to generate unique IDs when we're wherever we're accessing the to-dos or basically filtering based on the to-do text. Rather than that, we would be filtering based on the unique ID. And also, rather than giving to-do text as key, we'd be giving unique ID as key. And I'm going to take a small break to just play some songs. I don't care if it's copywritten or not, something, because anyway, I'm in no way or form able to monetize this one, so might as well listen to songs with this. I have no idea how that monetization and copyright stuff works. Okay, so we've got this much done. Now I think we can take a little time to style these components. Yeah, this is the padding. So we're gonna start with the input component. So we'll wrap this all in a div. And we're gonna give it the value of w full, which means just take up as much the total space that you've got. Now it'll go before the fragment. Reload. Okay, let's just see if it took. Yeah, it takes up the full space. Then we gotta add flex, justify between. So it's just gonna add some space. Yep, it already looks just slightly a little better. Yep. Oh, we're gonna handle that case if it's empty. So let's just do that right now. Handle submit. If input value is equal to just an empty string, we're gonna return. So just end the function prematurely. Don't do the stuff you're supposed to do. Yeah. Yep. Clicking this button, nothing's happening. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay, this is a nice one. Now let's style this. Yo2. Blah. Okay. So first, let's add a margin bottom to this div. 4. Nah, man. Yep, so you see a little margin to the bottom. That's nice. Now let's style this. Shoot. We'll add class name, width full, take the whole space you've been given. I've got to say, the hot reload for Vue is much better than this. Okay, so yeah, it has the full space. Now just let's make it flex, justify between. So for the people who are not really familiar with Tailwind CSS, W full just says take the whole space given to you, width, and then flex just is corresponding to display flex, and justify between says justify content between. Those are flexbox things that I'm using to just arrange these a little better. So you add, okay, your test. Okay, so now we're just gonna make the border thinner. That's all right. px1, just little nitpicky things, nothing too much. Yep. How about making this font bold? Yep. Huh? It's just toggling the bold class somehow. I'm not sure. Never mind, just let's leave out font bold for now. Okay, I know what's happening. So here I have font bold, and then I don't have an empty space. So when todo.done is done, it concatenates line through, and there's no space between here. So it says font bold line through as a single in continuation. So that's why it doesn't get applied. Yep. Now it works fine. That's nice. What if we add border to the whole container? Yeah, let's try that. Bulk. What the hell? And rather than delete, let's just put up an X over here. Oh, we've got the emoji keyboard too. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so the input component, other than rather than saying add, I'm gonna add a plus some emoji. What just happened? I wanna add emojis, brother. I'm just opening up the emoji keyboard on the other screen. Okay. Let's just Google it. Add emoji. Cross emoji. Emoji. Okay. This is frustratingly slow. I just gotta copy this. What the? See. Damn, this is too slow. Yep, you got the cross emoji in there now. That's perfect. Let's see if that gets updated. Okay, we gotta add the add emoji too. I know it's not gonna make a lot of sense, but now that I see pizza, I'm gonna add pizza in place of add. What the hell? Okay, cool. That's fun. Cool. I can't seem to find a nice song today. Let's just listen to what's trending. Today's top hits. I wanna bring this in. Yeah. Oh, see? We got that cute pizza over there now. Yo. Huh. That's cool. Cool, 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 cool. Font bold is too much, I think, so yeah. Yep. That's look good. You gotta remove the border from this because it looks weird with the emoji. Okay. It's there. I got align items center. I'm sure it's align center or something like that. Yeah, it's items center. Again, it's a flexbox thing. Oh gosh, why does this take so long? It's yet to refresh. Cool, it's more centered now. That's fine. Yeah. Let's just remove padding from this one. Yep, looks good enough. So now what I'm thinking is these border looks wacky to me. So rather than having borders, I'm gonna give class. Yep. Why the hell do I even have fragments anymore when it's all wrapped inside a container? BG gray 300. So I'll give the whole thing a background of 300 gray. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn off the music now. This is starting to take irritatingly long. Okay. So now this has a BG gray 300. Cool, cool, cool. Height, full. Okay, cool. This is better. If I do want to give a border, I can just say it to be gray 200 maybe. No, let's keep it at 500. Black seems too much. Mozilla is killing me. Come on, reload. Okay, yeah. Now it responds. Ah, fuck. I added borders to the whole thing. Man, I don't even need borders. Why am I bothering with them? Why am I bordering with them? Okay, now that this is styled, we can check our to-do list component and style it in a similar way. Yep, we gotta do something about this. First of all, it's not gonna have a border. It's gonna be BG white and rounded corners, not rounder, rounded with shadow. Yep, better. Now let's hope this works. Yo, yo. Now all we gotta do is add some of that padding. px3 py2. What? Why isn't padding being added? Padding. Yep, there's the padding. Oh, let's just increase the padding. That is too much. And I want more shadow on it. So shadow LG. Yep, that looks good enough in my opinion. What do you guys think? Yep, that's what I want to see is going out. So I gotta add flex wrap. Just a whole lot of text. It's wrapping, but it's still meh, but it's okay. That ain't the thing that we have to focus on. Now, I've got an idea. So, when the to-do is done, it should have a border left of green, otherwise yellow. Cool, let's do that. Uh, it's a stupid feature, but it's a stupid feature that I want to do to just, get better with how to contextually apply classes better. It's frustrating how slow my laptop is getting with this. To do dot done. See, if the to do is done, it's gonna have a border left 4, and it's gonna have border teal 600. Okay, so the border is anyway gonna be there. We're just deciding on the color. Agar done, if done, then yeah. So if it's done, it should be border green. Otherwise, border teal. These color classes are just Tailwind specific classes that apply border color and stuff. You can easily get this on Tailwind CSS, and or Tailwind CSS had made life easy. So yeah, you can see when you mark it done, it turns to green. Otherwise, nope. So let's make the border thicker. And rather than having it at teal, let's just look for color classes and find the color that we like. Colors. I don't want this. I want the whole list of colors. Where is it, bro? Okay, it's right here. Okay, so let's do one thing. When it's not done, let's keep it at orange 300. And then when it's done, it's gonna be green. Cool. Let's reload it. And I know this thing's messed up that the border should extend to the full height of the screen, but it is what it is. Yes, finally. So when we click done, it turns to green, otherwise it's orangish. And we got to add another class, text sm, make the text smaller. Yo, yo, yo. Oh. Okay, yeah. So font size, how's that done? Text sm. I think I'll put that over the whole thing. Everything needs to be smaller. Yep, as you can see, all the text is smaller, and rather than having border L8, I'm gonna keep it at 6. Yo, where's that stuff? Where did my border go? I think 6 might not be allowed. Let's see. Border L, border L4. Yeah, so it's either 4 or 8. So we're gonna keep it at a 4. That was the issue. It's an invalid class. It should be right back. Yo. Yo. I want to make it so that, oh, nah, this is cool. Yo. Nice to do the hell. To-do list. Oh, shit. How did I forget that? It's gotta have a margin bottom. Margin bottom 4. To-do list. A very nice to-do list. This is my to-do. Get better at React. I had fun making this video. You know, honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. It's 1:30 in the night and I've just lost it, man. I've just lost it. So, get better at React. I had fun making this video. Yeah, so this thing is still messed up that when you click it, it updates like that. I'm not sure how to solve that one, but there has got to be a way to do it. But in a way, this is nice. Nah, it's not nice. Yeah, I'll figure out a way to, you know, solve it or whatever. It's okay for now. It was just a practice app. So this is it, and I'm sure nobody's gonna watch the video for this long. I'm not even sure if I'll post this one or not. I just wanted to record this so that I keep talking to myself and keep walking me through the stuff so that I don't lose motivation to complete this thing today. So yeah, this has been a fun stream. No, not a stream. I'm not streaming this. It has been a fun video to record. I'm really tired, but this is super fun. And React isn't as bad as I thought it was. Well, this is a very simple app, obviously, so I can't judge how bad or good React is based on just this app, but it's better than I expected. Hooks are fun. I've heard that Redux is terrible, but yeah, hooks are fine, and this has turned out to be alright, so that's nice. Bye bye. That's it for this video. See you in the later videos if anybody is watching at all. Good night.